understanding what your customer wants for their detailing services is imperative, because you as the detailer, you usually come from a hobbyist or enthusiast mindset where, you know, you work on your personal car, or you've seen videos of others working on high-end cars, or, you know, just doing specialty work, or restoring an interior, restoring an engine, restoring some paint through paint correction. So you have this idea of what it should be. So, you know, if you're coming from that hobbyist enthusiast mentality, or if you're just starting off with that mindset of watching those videos, then you'll as you talk to the customer and try to realize what they want, or you're just talking to the customer, you'll easily move towards that type of detail where, you know, they say, hey, look, I needed my car detailed inside and out. And you say, oh, okay, well, you go straight into, oh, well, I can do, you know, paint correction, and I can give you that wet shine look, and, you know, I can make it look better than from when it left the show car room, and, you know, it's gonna look like you have a new paint job, and I'm gonna be able to remove, you know, 80 to 90% of the swirls and scratches in your paint. So number one being is all that tech jargon that you're saying of paint correction and flattening the surface and bringing out that wet look. You know, that's very common sense and very common to talk about in the detailing industry amongst detailers, or those that are detail enthusiasts or know about paint or body work. But when you're talking like that to someone that has absolutely no clue of detailing other than clean the inside, clean the outside, wax, and a typical wash, then they're going to be very confused on what you're talking about. So as you're talking with them, in their head, they're like completely lost, because you keep on dropping these little tech terms that you're using that, you know, to you use it all the time. It's what we always use in the detailing industry, but to them, it's like, what are you saying? I'm still trying to compute it in my mind, what it means. And again, you're just going to lose them like that. But aside from that, you really need to identify what the customer wants. So going back to, you know, they call you, say, hey, I want an exterior detail, and you jump straight into paint correction. And you say, oh, well, I can create a wet look. I can sand everything down. I can do all this and all that, and I can do a 2-step, 3-step compound and polishing process to really bring out that wet shine look. And, you know, sometimes, of course, it's going to work. Sometimes that's what the customer didn't realize, wasn't aware is possible, and they want that, of course. But other times is where the customer say, oh, that's too much time, that's too much money, I'm not looking for that, and they don't book you, or you've lost yourself from there. And that's when it becomes a problem, because you're going after what you want, right? You're saying, oh, well, I can do this is what I'd like to do, so hey, I can do paint correction and all this good stuff. But if you work on identifying what the customer wants, then it's a lot easier to see what kind of services they want. Because again, as a detailer, you want the fancy paint correction, or you want the interior restoration details, and you want those, like, you know, whatever job you want, that's what you're going to suggest. But once you talk to the customer and identify what pain points they have, then it's much easier. So if they call you up and say, hey, look, I need an interior and exterior detail, and you're going to say, you know, you'll do your pitch, but instead you should say, okay, well, what are you looking to get? Is this going to be did you just buy the car? Are you going to sell the car? Because those questions will be able to shift your conversation towards what they really need. So, you know, if it is that they're going to sell their car, and you're saying, hey, paint correction and, you know, $700, it's going to take me 10 hours to do, then, you know, they're going to be like, no, thanks a lot. And you may lose a sale from there. They may just not be interested. But if you start off by saying, oh, so what are you looking to get? You know, are you selling this car? What kind of car is it? Do you want to bring the value up? Or are you going to trade it in? You know, what are you trying to solve here? And oftentimes they won't know themselves. So you got to really help, and you got to ask, you know, in order to get great answers, you have to ask great questions. So that in itself is a difficult task to do. So if they don't know what they're trying to do, right, all they know is they want to sell it, right? Well, are you going to trade it in? Are you going to sell it directly as the owner? Or are you going to, like, give it to your son or something, and then he's going to buy it? That way you can help bring value to them and explain the process and what's, you know, in your professional opinion, what's best to get the most value, or the quickest trade-in, or to make it sell the fastest. So all that does help by asking great questions on what it is they want. Or let's say, you know, they want an interior cleaning and they just bought the car, or they're going to pass it on to their daughter or son, or they're going to give it to someone in the church, and they want it, you know, absolutely immaculate. And you're only gonna know that by asking questions of, oh, so is this a work truck? Is this gonna be your daily commute? Are you gonna give this to someone? Is this a gift, or a surprise for someone? And the questions may seem trivial, but asking those questions will go deeper into the true reason of why they need you as a detailer. Of course, it's, hey, it's dirty, I need it cleaned, but why do you want to get it cleaned? Like I said, like at the top layer is going to be like, it's dirty, I need it cleaned. You ask more questions, it's like, well, it's dirty and I want to get it cleaned for my son's birthday, or I want to surprise my husband. Then you can start playing up with a bit more. You can go more deeper with them. You can go deeper with them on the emotional side and say, you really want to surprise your husband, your wife. This will be a great option. I can XYZ, and when he walks in, this will happen. So that way you get to play the field a bit more when you get to figure out what it is they're calling for and what it is for their end result. So figure out what the customer wants, not what just you want to give them. So again, it's not about you and what you'd like, it's about what they need or what they want. Focus on them, ask great questions, and be able to really dig deep and see what it is they're actually looking for. So hope this video helps. I'll see you on the next one.